All right, so I started off just kind of slapping out the basic shape of what you had, only yours has a lot of loop cuts on it. I'm not really sure why, but all you really need is this to start off with. So just get your basic cube, drag it out on the X, and then add a center loop cut, and then two more loop cuts on either side, and then just scale these ones to be a bit taller so you form that shape. Then I'm going to add a loop cut down the center there and down the center there. And then if you don't have loop tools already, you can come up here to edit, go to preferences, go to your add-ons tab, type in loop in the search, and then make sure it's activated, and then save it. And then you should be able to turn on your X-ray view to make sure you grab all the verts you want, and then deselect that center vert, and then right click and go to circle. And then you can kind of scale that down a little bit so it's more circle-y. Then I'm going to hit number 1, get rid of the other side because I don't want to have to do this twice. So let's delete those vertices and then go back to object mode. You can add an empty, whatever kind you want. I usually choose the plane axis because it's not as visible, so it's not all up in my way. Select your object again and then add a mirror modifier. Bam, like that. And then you can go ahead and add in your subdivision surface modifier. Crank it up to whatever's smooth, typically 4. I think all you can add is 4. Oh no, you can add 6, but we're just going to add 4. Okay. Then you want to make sure your mirror modifier stays on the top, because if you put it to last after you have the subsurf modifier on it, like it makes this part all ugly because it's not taking into consideration like our other modifiers and stuff. Or it is, and so when you move it to the top, then it's including the subsurf modifier. But if it's on the bottom, then it's not. Okay, go back into edit mode, and then we can taper these little puppies over here. Make sure you're in vertex select, grab the verts, and then hit Control Shift B, not just Control B, because Control B isn't gonna work right. And I think that might be a little bit too much, so let me move this line in a little bit more first. And then we can move it back later just so our taper isn't so extreme. 3, 4, Control Shift B, and then I just taper until the verts collapse with those other ones. And then you could do merge by distance for this part, but I'm just gonna select them and go to merge verts at center for each of them. I don't know why I feel for me it's faster, but in reality, merge by distance would be faster. I feel like I can't trust merge by distance, so I just do it the safer, kind of longer way. All right, and then it looked like you wanted your taper to be a bit longer, so we can take this and hit GG to move it backwards a little bit just so your taper is like farther away. Then you can get out of your X-ray view, and actually let's select these ends one more time and then just go back to circle again. We might have to do this again a little bit later also. But let's hit E to extrude that out so that it is more circular. And then we can grab our loop cuts, get out of X-ray view, and then add some loop cuts to the side because you want your edges to be sharp, it looks like. Get some on the underside. Perfect. And then let's grab these. I'm going to go to my front view just so I can make sure I see it correctly. Grab my front ones, circle, grab these inner ones, circle. Oops. If this ever happens and you lose your view, you just need to click on this little thing right here because it swapped you to perspective, and so everything goes away and it gets crazy. Okay, I'm going to grab all these and then scale them to be more circular. and then you can manipulate like your basic shape however you want it. I'm just kind of giving you the gist. And then we need to add some verts to this side because as you can see it's kind of ugly and like looks like it has artifacts and stuff, and that's because we have too many verts on these. So you can just connect those with your knife tool, hit K, and then connect these verts to these verts on both sides. That one, and then connect, so these ones, yes, these verts to these verts on the other sides. This one to this one. And that should fix your circle problem. And then you said you wanted it to be more like a ball on the end, so let's see if it's easier to do that on sculpt mode. I'm going to use the inflate tool, and then make it bigger. Okay, let's try it in edit mode and see if that's better. Sometimes sculpt mode works, sometimes it doesn't. Grab these ones, pull them out a little bit, and then grab the center one, pull that one out a little bit, and then depending on how spherical you want it to be, you can also grab these ones, and if you want you can scale it bigger this way, and whichever way, you know, manipulate it however you wish to make it look more like a ball. Or, you know what, we can also see if this option will work. Let me see. Loop cut, do they have sphere? They don't have sphere. Then I don't want to relax it. Yeah, so just kind of pull them out to where it looks more like a ball on the end. Bring these ones out a little bit more. Out this way. There we go. Hopefully that's pretty close to what you wanted. Hopefully that helps. If you want your tapers to be more extreme, then whenever you do your beveling, you can just continue until the taper is as wide as you want it to be, if that makes sense. So yeah, hopefully that helped.